Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum everyone. Welcome to the stream of knowledge. Today we will learn about Staphylococcus aureus or Staph aureus. The word staph means grape-like cluster and coccus is the cocci shape of bacteria means Staphylococcus are cocci in shape that are arranged in grape-like cluster. You can understand well by the help of this diagram. All the Staphylococcus are gram-positive cocci or spherical in shape that are arranged in grape-like cluster. All the Staphylococcus species are catalase positive, mean they produce catalase, and this catalase break down the hydrogen peroxidase, which produce the oxygen, and this oxygen appear as the bubbles. Staphylococcus aureus also coagulase positive, means it produce coagulase which clot the plasma. Staph aureus also produce golden color yellow colonies. This yellow color is due to the pigment stephaloxanthin produced by the Staph aureus. Staph aureus also ferment mannitol and hence Staph aureus can grow in mannitol salt agar. Staph aureus also hemolyze the red blood cell and hence staph show beta hemolysis in blood agar or complete hemolysis. This hemolysis is due to hemolysins produced by Staph aureus. One very important point you must keep in your mind that all these characteristics are only shown by Staph aureus species, not other Staph species. All the Staph species are catalase positive, but only Staph aureus have these characteristics. These are distinguished characteristics of Staph aureus. The cell wall of Staph aureus contain protein A. This is protein A, and this protein A bind the Fc portion of IgG. This is Fc portion of IgG immunoglobulin, and we know that Fc portion bind the complement, and hence complement fixation occur. But if this Fc portion binds to protein A, no complement fixation occur, and hence reduce the phagocytosis. The cell wall of Staph aureus also contain teichoic acid, and these teichoic acid help the attachment of Staph aureus to the mucosal cell, but it also cause septic shock. Staph aureus also contain polysaccharide capsule. This capsule has antiphagocytic activity, but some strains of Staph aureus contain small amount of capsule called microcapsule. It also contains peptidoglycan, but it has special case how this peptidoglycan act as an endotoxin and cause septic shock. Staph aureus is the normal flora of the nose, but it can also colonize the groins and skin. This is our normal skin, and it is colonized by the Staph aureus. But if any bruises or fissure occurs, then this staph will enter the skin and cause skin and soft tissue infections. These skin and soft tissue infections are due to pyogenic inflammation. The clinical manifestations caused by the Staph aureus can be divided into two groups: pyogenic, due to pyogenic inflammation, and due to the toxin mediated disease. First of all, we move toward the pyogenic inflammation causing disease. If the is intact skin become injured, the staph will enter the skin, and this is local injury, and it will cause skin and soft tissue infections. For example, if it is a small fissure, then it will only appear as pimple. But if it is large, then it appear as a boil or furuncle. If many furuncle combines, it appear as the carbuncle. But if the deeper skin is involved, it will call as the cellulitis. But if it is the diffuse skin infection, it will be called impetigo or honeycomb-like appearance. It also called nail infection and hair follicle infections. But if the staph aureus disseminate to the blood, it can cause septicemia. It can disseminate to the bones and called osteomyelitis, septic arthritis. It can also cause surgical post-surgical wound infections, pneumonia, conjunctivitis, and abscesses. The previous diseases are due to the pyogenic inflammation, but staph also produce toxin, and due to toxin production, the following diseases occur. These are food poisoning, toxic shock syndrome, and scalded skin syndrome. We will study them in detail. Let's start. But before going to pathogenesis, we can learn all the clinical findings by a mnemonic, soft pains. There are a lot of diseases that are caused by Staph aureus. How we can learn it? We can learn it simple with the help of mnemonic. Soft pains. S stand for the skin infection. O is the osteomyelitis. F for the food poisoning, and T of the soft is the toxic shock syndrome, while the P in the pains is the pneumonia, A is the acute endocarditis, I is the infective arthritis, N is the necrotizing fasciitis, and S the sepsis and staphylococcus scalded skin syndrome. I hope you have learned all the diseases caused by Staph aureus. Now, how staph cause disease? It causes disease by three ways: by pyogenic inflammation, by producing exotoxins. Exotoxins are the polypeptide that is secreted by bacteria, or by producing enzymes. We have learned the diseases that is caused by the pyogenic inflammation. Inflammation is the response to the bacteria. But if staph produce exotoxins, these are enterotoxin, toxic shock syndrome toxin, exfoliatin, PV leukocidin. Enterotoxin, as the name indicate, entero mean GID, mean any disease of GID. Enterotoxin cause food poisoning, in which vomiting is more prominent than diarrhea. But why? Enterotoxin and toxic shock syndrome both are super antigens. What it does mean? It's very important point. Normally, when a big antigen is engulfed or phagocytosed by APCs or antigen presenting cell, they present it on MHC class, which is then bind to the T cell receptor and T helper cell then activated. But in case of super antigen, the antigen binds to the V beta of TCR without intracellular processing, and it causes the stimulation of T helper cells in large number. Large amount of T helper cells will activate, and large amount of cytokines, interleukin 1, interleukin 2, will be produced. And these cytokines, which are large in amount, will stimulate the entire nervous system to activate the vomiting center of brain, and hence the vomiting is prominent. While in case of toxic shock syndrome, which is also a super antigen, large amount of cytokines, for example interleukin 1, interleukin 2, and tissue nephrotic factor will be released, and it will cause shock, mean fever and hypotension. Another exotoxin produced by Staph aureus is exfoliatin. This exfoliatin causes scalded skin syndrome. What it does mean? Actually, exfoliatin is a protease that cleaves the desmoglein in the desmosome, and hence it will separate the epidermis from the granular layer. Scalded skin syndrome, as you can see here, the skin is slug off. The epidermolytic occur. The epidermis is light. Mean lysis of epidermis occur in scalded skin syndrome. Panten valentine leukocidin, another exotoxin produced by Staph aureus. Leuco mean leukocytes or WBCs, and cidin is the killing of these leukocytes. But how? Actually, PB leukocidins have two subunits, and these subunits, when attached to the cell membrane, they cause holes or pores in the cell, and hence the leakage of the cell content. When the leakage occurs, the cell will be killed. Staph also cause disease by producing enzymes. For example, coagulase, fibrinolysin, hyaluronidase, protease, nuclease, and lipases. How we can diagnose Staph aureus in lab? As we studied previous, first of all we will do microscopic examination after staining. If it will appear gram positive, and then catalase positive, mannitol positive, DNA positive, coagulase positive, then it will be Staph aureus. How we can treat staph? By using antibiotics. If you want me to make a lecture on MRSA strain of Staph aureus, then do comment. Thank you for watching. Do like, comment, share, and subscribe if you really enjoyed the video. It really took time to make videos for you because I have to take time from my studies. So do subscribe. It will motivate me. Thank you.